Could you tell me what you think of reason versus emotion?
Yeah, it's something that I think about quite a bit, and it seems to be that there's a couple of different ways that people conduct themselves in their lives, and there are people I think that are reasonably logical and reasonable, and they try to substantiate through reasoning what they do in their life. And so you say, okay, well, why did you buy this flashy new car? I say, well, I work as a salesperson. I needed the flashy new car to show how successful I am, and all of these dumb rubes that I'm ripping off basically because of sales, they fall for this. And so that's why I bought the car. I say, okay, good. This is a person who has an actual rationale for what they're doing. And then there's other people who they operate much more through just kind of emotion. And a lot of their decisions, like we make emotional decisions, and will conduct a lot of their life, these kind of emotional decisions. And so the figure of speech that I use, or the analogy I use to describe this, is the power of what moves a bus. And so your life is a little bit like a large transit bus. And reason, I would say, is the energy that drives our life. And so reason would be the motor of the bus. And the motor really doesn't know anything other than like raw power. That's it. And the logic or reason is the person sitting controlling the bus and actually turning the steering wheel and making decisions, looking out the window and making decisions. So if you make decisions, I think, if we follow this analogy, then if you make your decisions based on mere emotionality or like being overly excited about something, then what happens to you is it's like a bus careening down the road with no driver whatsoever. The motor can drive the bus, have no fear, but it will drive it right through houses and over children and all sorts of things. And that's just not a way you want to conduct your life. And so the people that make their decisions emotionally will say things like, I just knew what was right. I just felt what was right. You say, well, that's not really sufficient, because the Ku Klux Klan also feels what's right. And we would say to the Ku Klux Klan, you need to substantiate your choices. You cannot be killing part of the population of the country. Let's say they would like to kill like 12% of the population of the United States, for instance. You cannot be killing 12% of the population of the country on this kind of pretense that you are correct, unless you can prove it to me at the very least. And so, how do you prove to me that you are correct, that this group of people are less worthy of life or whatever, right? Well, they can't do it, it seems, right? They can't do it in any kind of transferable way. And emotions are not transferable. And that's a problem. It's not just about like what goes on in my head. I should be able to somehow deliver the ideas I have in my head to you. And if all I can deliver to you is my raw emotional upset, my personal neuroses, then that's not really much of a message and you're not interested. Now, reason, on the other hand, or reasoning faculty or logic, and you can actually point to something out in the world and you can substantiate that in a way to another person that they can understand it. It's really the only way we can conduct ourselves as kind of somewhat reasoning animals. Otherwise, I would say we're just ants, and not even very busy ants, but rather lazy and stupid ants. And that's not necessarily a very good thing to be. And we all know people that make their decisions emotionally, and they land themselves in all kinds of a mess all the time, because they're never thinking about anything they do in any kind of way that's going to lead them to something positive in the end. I just knew what was right. I felt what the best thing was for me. I just had this feeling. It's like, well, this is really not sufficient, because all kinds of people have feelings, and a lot of those people are crazy. And so you want to try and control yourself a little better than that. What you're looking for is more, my reasons for doing this are this, this, and this. And then you ask someone else, what do you think of that? And they say, yes, I think your reasoning is sound, and you should go ahead with that.